What up, boxing fans? So I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's Wednesday. We're literally hours. It's crazy to say hours away from Mayweather Pacquiao, and we've done with the GYGB crew up in Philly. We did the Monday night roundtable official predictions. Check the link below after this video, so you can hear the show in its entirety. But man, yo, we're 72 hours away from this era's super fight and likely the biggest fight in close to 30 years. I mean, some people would argue that, I guess, but I think for the time, the times we're living in right now with social media and just how everything is absorbed as far as promotion and things of that nature. I mean, this is one of those fights, man, where like I mentioned in my prediction video, that it's a global event and the whole world for the most part is going to stand still and watch this fight. And there hasn't been a fight of this level for really a lot of the younger boxing fans who maybe got into boxing around the time when Mayweather fought De La Hoya, or maybe just a little bit before that. If that's the case, those people have never experienced a super fight of this caliber, because we could go down the line for like fights like Tito Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya, which for the time was a really big fight because it was two prime guys, undefeated, going at it. And even though that fight was really big, that fight was big in the sense more so for the Latino community, because it was a Mexico versus Puerto Rico, rivalry, but on a high level. And then obviously the whole deal with Oscar being, the Mexicans, I guess, got behind Oscar in that fight because it was such a big fight. But I don't think in the last 30 years or so there's been a fight where you had two guys, mind you, at the end of their careers, but at the same time still at elite levels. And it is a rarity, and I think maybe the closest you can get to that is maybe Leonard Hagler, where going into the fight, Leonard came out 3 years out of retirement, or 4 years, and jumped right into 160 to fight Hagler, and people thought he was crazy. But even in this case, Pacquiao and Mayweather are parallels, or have been parallels for the better part of 5 to 6 years. And obviously between the both, Pacquiao stumbled, but it's just funny how boxing works. And lo and behold, 3 fights removed from his knockout, and he's back, or he's a part of the biggest fight in monetarily in history, because this fight is going to just make stupid money. And the weigh-ins Friday, the tickets are going for something along the lines of like anywhere from $600 to $1,000. After the fact that they were put out for $10 a pop, and they were going for charity, but they don't mention the second market that are going to put the tickets out for like enormous prices. So we've seen how crazy the whole event of Mayweather Pacquiao has been, the lead up, and even leading up to the ticket sales. They obviously went on, they're sold out and what have you, but prior to that, man, I mean, we were like 9 days removed and still not sure when the tickets would go on sale. And that started a whole thing with Bob Arum, and I don't know if you guys saw the final press conference that they had today, but I don't know if you guys are aware, but don't expect to see Top Rank fighting at the MGM Grand anytime soon, because the whole reason why Pacquiao and that their whole situation, why they didn't join Floyd in the I guess the entrance into the MGM Grand, the grand arrival. Arum and Top Rank have had issues with MGM since the Pacquiao Bradley fight, and you could do your research on it, but it does have to do with Floyd in a sense, as far as the fight that he was having a month after the Pacquiao Bradley fight. So, any case, it was funny. He's up on stage, and they're being cordial, obviously, but Bob Arum spends like 5 minutes bigging up the Mandalay Bay, which is where Pacquiao did his grand arrival, and they had a little thing, and it's just funny. Like, he's sitting there and he's just like bigging up the Mandalay Bay, which ironically is owned by the MGM Corporation, but the MGM hotel itself, if you think of chains, like the Vegas MGM Grand is ran by like one guy, and like Arum and Top Rank aren't getting along with it, but the corporation itself, they own Mandalay Bay, but at the same time, they have their own management. And so it's just funny. He's up on stage just like, almost like shitting on the MGM Grand, and you see Floyd and Ellerby kind of like looking at each other like, what the hell is he doing? So you see the circus still going on, but I think the weigh-ins are really, I think for the most part, because the excitement's there now, and ESPN for the most part today have been covering the fight on the hour, which I thought they were, and the weigh-in, I think, is when really the hype in itself is really going to culminate to the point where, like, I don't think people are going to even want to, like, think or do anything else prior to that fight, man. And luckily I have my fight plan situated and the whole nine, but for the most part, man, like, I think this is like something that, as the fans, really, man, I think we should just really embrace this whole fight, man, and just the event itself, because we're not going to see this for quite a long time, man. And I think that's why this fight is so big, and it's getting so much attention, because there's just there hasn't been a fight of this magnitude really in a very long time. And the reason they are comparing it to like the Frazier and Ali's and fights like that is because those fights are staples in the history of the sport, and there's obviously different reasons why they were, but in this case, these are the two best fighters in the last 10 years in the sport. Maybe, I mean, you could argue maybe 10, 12, 13 years, but as far as the consistency level and really the how they have extended like beyond just like popular boxers. I mean, they're global athletes. I mean, I would say more Pacquiao in that sense, but Floyd is in a time where the heavyweight division is really non-existent in the United States, with the exception now of Deontay Wilder, but Floyd is carrying that torch of being like the heavyweight-esque guy in boxing, as far as how it was in the 70s and the 80s, where that was really the American representation of boxing, and then obviously you got Sugar Ray Leonard and people like that. But Floyd Mayweather, man, I mean, love or hate the guy, he's really transcended the sport as far as the highest paid athlete, and just the record breaking. I mean, think about it, man. He has two back-to-back records on pay-per-view with Canelo and with Oscar, and I mean, you got to give him credit for that. And obviously, it takes two to tango, but I mean, look, man, he holds those two records, man. And now with this fight, it's going to be what, like they're saying 3.2 million at max, and that's shattering the record before. So, at this point, man, like, I'm just like really amped for the fight. Obviously, people have been hitting me up about my prediction because some people weren't too popular, or they didn't think it was the popular answer. But obviously, you could check it out and let me know what you think about that. But like I said before, man, I think at this point, man, we just got to embrace this fight, man, and enjoy the event, man. And we're not gonna get this shit for a really long time, and I'm thankful that they finally got together to make the fight, be it as whatever it was. I mean, I'm really not here to speculate about, we've all read the whole situation with how this fight was made, but at the end of the day, man, nobody should really be concerned with that. We're gonna see, in my opinion, a great fight. Both guys, they know what's on the line, man, and I think, truthfully, we're gonna see two guys that are gonna put out their last great performance, and we're gonna just obviously see who comes out on top. So that's pretty much it, man. Beyond that, we're gonna come back Sunday and do a show, I believe, on with the Guard Your Grill boxing crew. I believe so. I think that's what we were talking about. But immediately following the fight, I will be on here wherever I'm at, or actually where I will be at where I'm going to be watching the fight. I'll be doing a live Google Hangout, man, because regardless of the fact, it's going to be a historic night, and I think 5 years of debating, arguing, fighting, meme pictures and Photoshop pictures, it's all going to culminate to final bragging rights, unless it's a draw, which I hope it isn't, man. I really hope it isn't. I hope we get a decisive winner. So I'll be back following the fight, man, but obviously, everybody enjoy the fight. Everybody don't get too inebriated and drive. And I'll be back, like I said, following the fight. And I got Pacquiao winning by decision. Peace.